Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if you're new here. Pardon the tank top with. I just got off work, and so it is what it is. I had some trouble with the internet over the weekend, but I thought I'd share with you. I don't know if you can see the patch on my hat. So I worked with a guy named Bob, and that was kind of a personal joke there with Bob about Bob the Builder. So, at any rate, today is the full moon in Sagittarius, which it's actually squaring the nodes of fate. If you know the South Node, North Node, so it looks like we got a lot of fated things coming in. Like there's so much cyclical energy closing out right now. Um, this is a huge week energetically. So, if there's a seed that you have planted, and I want to go, I believe it started in 2018 with the Mars Uranus conjunctions, and we're having the last one this Sunday of this cycle. Like, there's so much. So, like we were talking about on Monday, if you've been feeling stagnant, like things just aren't moving forward, hang in there. Hang in there. I think it's coming. So, I'm using the wisdom of the oracle to get our topic for today, and we have why. And you know what? Why? Speaking of being frustrated and feeling like nothing's working out for you, why? If you've ever just sat back and been like, why? Why does this keep happening? One, easy answer, it's you. Sorry, if I was talking to me, it'd be me. We are the reason things keep happening. We operate out of our subconscious with behavior patterns, beliefs, attachment patterns. There are so many dynamics at play in our lives from subconscious patterns that we're not even aware of. If there is a part of your life where things just keep going the same way, you're not getting the outcome you desire, I would venture to guess the answer to the why is because unintentionally, unknowingly, they keep doing the same thing. It may look a little bit different, like if it's relationships, it's a different person, but you have the same dynamics at play. If it's trying to get out of debt, trying to lose weight, looking for a new job, trying to maintain employment, relationships with your coworkers, your family, whatever the situation is, we are driven 95% by our subconscious mind. The good news about that is you can change that. I wrote the book. Ah, get your shit together. There's a link in the description box. It talks about our subconscious beliefs and how we can reprogram our mind. You know, uh, One of the things, I can't think of the person who said it, but what we feed energetically with our attention, with our energy, is what grows. So if you have negative thoughts that start first thing in the morning, just roll through your head all day, the easiest thing to do is to change that by not giving that thought attention. You can even do that is not a safe place for my brain to go, and replace it with a positive thought. Or, and this is the bigger picture that I was just listening to a podcast earlier today where they talked about feeding your weakness or feeding your strength. So we'll go bigger picture with it. If I desire to lose weight, and I'm so sorry, I normally turn my phone off. If I desire to lose weight, but I keep allowing myself to give in to the temptation, if I don't discipline myself to not eat the donut that I know is not going to help me reach the goal that I desire, if I continue to allow that part of me to take charge, that's going to become my dominant trait, is a lack of self-discipline, because I have allowed that is the part of me that I've given control to. It's the one that really has no control, right? Or the part of me that says, I'm not eating the donut. I want to be healthier. I want to get in shape so that I can play with my kids, my grandkids. I can do the things I used to enjoy doing before I gained weight. Well, whatever the case may be, I want to bring my blood pressure down. When you encourage that side of you and you listen to that voice, because it's going to be quiet at first, it's going to be real quiet. The part of you that's like, we weren't going to do that anymore. And then this side's like, I want a donut. I want a donut now. I've been good. I need a donut. And this side's like, but you wanted to get back in shape. Donut, donut. And very much along the same lines. It's a very simplified version of changing your thought patterns, but it's again where we direct our energy, what we feed. If you feed the quiet voice and say, you know what, that's right. I may want a donut, but not near as bad as I want to be able to play with my grandkids. I'm not eating the donut. You have just rewarded that small voice that's trying to remind you that you have goals, that you don't want the donut anymore. You really don't. Your brain wants a quick fix dopamine hit off of the sweet, sugary food and the carbohydrates and the rush. But another part of you wants the joy of being able to play with your grandkids. And so when we are trying to figure out why we can't lose weight, it's probably the voice over here that's yelling, donut, donut. Because that's the one we've listened to for so long. And it's learning to bring back our ability to hear the other voice and to agree with it. No, it means more to me. The old me would have gone for the donut, but the person I'm becoming is going to choose joy, the joy of playing with my grandkids. Not the immediate gratification, but the disciplined result of maintaining my self discipline over a course of time to achieve the goal that I want. And we talked also on Monday a bit about how we're learning to build things that last instead of the quick fix, going for something stable, secure. And when you think about when we are operating from our subconscious programming, we don't realize that it doesn't bring us stability, it doesn't bring us security. We're reacting. We're not responding. We're not choosing. We're just reacting. We're reacting to triggers. We're reacting to energy. We're reacting to behavior patterns. We're reacting to external stimulus. And any time that we are allowing what is around us to dictate our thoughts, our emotions, our decisions, it's going to be unstable. In order for us to figure out why things aren't going the way we really want them to, we have to find out what's driving that behavior. Those answers lie within, and the ability to change it lies within. Nothing outside of you can affect you once you have figured out how to align with that small voice that wants good things for you and quit listening to the reactive one that has dominated your life for so long. And it's just a matter of having an internal dialogue, um, and redirecting your attention. And we've talked about this before. It's very much like trying to control a toddler who's on crack because you have an undisciplined part of your brain that for however many years you've been on the planet has been yelling at you, donut, and you go, okay. And you don't even think about it anymore. It's not even a conscious thing. It just happens. And so you have to start watching, paying attention to, being aware of your responses, your reactions, those quick and stop. Pause. Where is that coming from? Why did I react that way? What is this trying to tell me? What is this trying to teach me? And again, initially, it's just a new habit. It's a new habit and it takes time. But once you build the awareness and you start to understand what's driving my behavior, why am I doing this? Why am I sitting here wanting a stable relationship, but the scary guy who has all the red flags of everyone I've ever dated is the only one catching my attention right now? You know, Mr. looks pretty stable over there, not a thing. But this guy, because he's every red flag that I know will demolish me if I pursue it. But because we're not cognitive of what's driving it, Mr. Red Flag is all of your past unresolved issues with self image, with attachment, with prior relationships, childhood. I mean, like all of those things. So don't beat yourself up because you haven't gotten the results you want. Go to the source of the why. Why isn't it working? Look at your behavior patterns. What do you keep doing? You don't start out with that in mind. You don't leave your house in the morning going, today, I'm going to make sure that at lunch I get bored and get on Amazon and spend next week's paycheck on shit that I don't need so that I can feel better about myself. I think that's what I'll do today. We don't do that. Instead, at lunch, we're bored and we start thinking about, man, I should go to the beach. What would I wear if I went to the beach? Oh, look at that dress. In marketing is all about selling us emotions. Because when you look at marketing, so you're sitting at work, you're bored, you're thinking about going to the beach, and you're seeing pictures of people in dresses frolicking on the beach or swimsuits or whatever, and you want to feel like that. You want to feel the emotion you see in the picture. And trust me, buying the swimsuit's not going to make it happen. It'd be great if it did. We could all just buy the swimsuit and be happy, but that's not how that works. So you get that short, brief hit of endorphins, of dopamine, like, ooh, the swimsuit's coming, I'm going to go to the beach. And you get the swimsuit, and somehow, as soon as you've got the swimsuit, you're onto something else because it just didn't make you feel that great. You didn't have the vacation time to go to the beach. Now you just have another swimsuit and more on your credit card. But you see where I'm saying? We tend to sabotage ourselves the same way over and over and over with slightly different actions. So if you want to know why you haven't been making the progress you wish you had made at this point, or can't understand why you're not progressing, I'm doing all the right things. Are you? Are you? Because we can lie to ourselves better than anyone else ever could. We can rationalize, we can blame, we can whatever. And we can do that until we convince ourselves that we're just a victim. Why is this happening to me? Now it's outside of our control. There's nothing we can do about it. Life is horrible. God hates us. We're cursed. We weren't meant to have what we want. And I write on my hands, sorry. But you see how this can spiral. When you ask why aren't things moving forward, ask deeper questions. What has uh, consistently gone wrong in these scenarios? What behaviors have I contributed to the failure of these things that I may not have been aware of? And really reflect on it. Feel your emotions from that time. Go through the scenario. Really think about what happened, what played out. Where did you sell yourself short? Where did you not defend your boundaries? Where did you go against the things that you said you weren't going to do? And why? Was it for approval? Was it for a quick hit, quick reward, instant gratification? Was it to impress other people? Was it because you just had a bad day and didn't feel good about yourself? Really get to the underlying emotions behind it. And that's when you'll start finding the answer to the why. It's in here, it's not out there. But if out there is creating behaviors that you no longer want to feed, identify what's driving them. If you're allowing the stimulus in your environment to dictate your day to day, and it's keeping you from becoming who you desire to be, it's in here. Something in here is asking for your attention. It wants to be addressed, it wants to be known. And it will get louder and louder, meaning that whatever it is that's not working out for you will get worse and worse and worse until you address it, until you get to the bottom of it. So I hope that helps. And again, I go way more in depth in the book. I try to keep these videos short, just little tips here and there and a lot of it's repetitive, but it's planting the seeds because I can tell you there's so much information that I learned in a rapid span of time. Like it was really quick. And a lot of the concepts didn't really sit right with me for a while. But the seed was planted, but it had to kind of germinate, get a little sunlight, a little water, grow until I was like, like then everything connected. So having the information in your brain, being aware that this is a process that can help you, at some point it will click. And it may be on that final moment when you're like, why the hell am I here again? And this will pop in your mind and be like, I need to find out what's driving my behavior. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this helps, and I will talk to you soon.